Neutral, trying to moderate this. Okay?
Thank you. I'd like to thank the moderator here, who in my view is doing a very good job. And I'm sorry I'm so impatient, but I started out as a peace activist in London in 1956. And at that time, as a result of what I began to say at the BBC where I was working at the time, I had about a week to get out of Britain, because I said that if Britain continued to be getting into bed with the United States and opening a new empire building regime, that I personally wanted no part of it, and I didn't know anyone at the time that did want a part of it. And I also knew by my exposure to Canadians during the Second World War as a little boy, they were rather different from Englishmen and Americans. They were a unique breed, and I respect that breed, and I respect that breed immensely. Because here in this country, we have the opportunity to make the changes I know you all want. I'm going to keep it very simple. Oh, by the way, it is 4:20, and that is one of the first liberations we should exercise. So now is a good time. Now the next thing, I'm going to keep it very simple. I would like anyone who intends to stay the course to put up their hands. And do you know what I mean by that? And that means we're occupying Vancouver until we have some legitimate response. Now the only person I know after my study in 52 years in your country who has any ability to respond to the people is the Queen's representative here, which happens to be the Governor General. Now, I have been addressing myself to try and change the electoral system in British Columbia for 15 years. Because after studying and investigating all the political parties as a young man when I first came here, I found that they were more or less all corrupted as a result of various social streams which had emerged in the history of this country. And as a result of that, I began to think, how can we change it so that these political parties, mostly in bed with the big corporations, as we know now, can be put out of business? And there is only one way we can do that legitimately in our Constitution, and that is through an election. But the political parties are all in bed together, as we all know by now, and we need an alternative. So for 15 years, I've been trying to get a none of the above on the ballot. A very simple thing. In May, I went to the Supreme Court to ask a judge of the Court of British Columbia if he could give me a yes or no, or if not he himself, ask the Chief Electoral Officer or the Lieutenant Governor if there was any purpose in me pursuing this. The Ministry of the Attorney General sent two lawyers in to oppose this simple motion. And as a result of that, he declared that he was unable to give me any help. No traction at all. That is why I have come to you, the common people of British Columbia, to help me to send in one last petition. I've collected petitions for many years. I've handed them in, and mostly they deny their existence. This is a fact. So we must now take it upon ourselves. I would like 100 people to take one of these petitions and undertake, after they've read it and agree with it, to sign it and send it to the Governor General. And simply ask him to ask the Chief Electoral Officer of Canada and of all the provinces to have a none of the above box on the ballot. Now then, what happens? If that should get a majority, there would be a random, there would be a random selection of a man and a woman from those people in the pool of electors. So if you voted none of the above, you may have to represent your community. If you didn't feel up to it, you can pass and someone else will take your place. Now by doing this, we go back to the common people. We slice through all of the people, not just the ones who are here, not just the courageous ones, but the people who would like to act. I would like to speak to anybody who would like to take it upon themselves to read this and send it in and expect a reply. Is that a good idea? Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to be here for the duration, and if anybody has any questions, specific or otherwise, I will do my very best to answer. I'm not a politician. As a matter of fact, dare I say it, I'm still an Englishman after 52 years. Thanks for your patience. Nobody wipe me out.
Thank you. Mic check. Mic check.